Welcome back. This is the continuation of previous tutorial. Now we are going ahead and write couple more test method to test different scenario. So in the first scenario, we kind to give a warm temperature to test the input parameter 70. Now how about we give a freezing point, let's say 32 Fahrenheit. So what will be that value in Celsius? So here I'm going ahead and define another test method, and this is going to be the return type, and the name for this method will be test freezing point. So this is the name of the method, and it's also a good practice to add the keyword test in the front of the method name. Very good code practice to define what that method is testing actually. So here we specify that we are testing for the warm temperature, which is 70 degrees 70 Fahrenheit. And then here we are testing for a freezing point, which is approximately 32 degree Fahrenheit, right? So now what we are going to do is we are going to call the same method. Everything is going to be same temperature out of this one. But now what I'm going to do, the parameter what I will be passing will be, instead of 70, I will be passing 32. And then whatever the result is, I'm going to store in this variable called Celsius. This is a variable that I will store. Now, what should be the result? So the result should be, according to our code, we have specified that fh, wait, I will take a marker. So according to our formula, that we have fh minus 32 multiplied by 5 divided by 9. So what is fh here? 32. So 32 minus 32 is a kind of 0. Anything multiplied by 0 comes out to be 0. Right? So the result that we are expecting is 0. Okay. And then what should be the result should be 0. And let's see if it matches what we are expecting. So we are going to use the same system dot of assert equals, and here what is expected? So we are expecting the value should come out to be 0. And if it is equals to the actual value is what? Actual value is whatever the value of this variable is, Celsius. And then hit the save button. So this is the second test that we have written. Now this is going to be the second test. Now let's see if it is working. So we'll go ahead and go to the test here and go to new run. Code coverage is basically we have covered the 100% of it. So now new run here and temperature convert test. I want to test both these methods and then hit the run. So you will see the code coverage is going to be the 100%. And both the test cases, if you go ahead and look at it, both the test cases are green. So you can see here, both the test cases are green. So let's say if our formula was wrong. So if the formula was, let's say, something else, or let's say our result came out to be something else. So let's say something went wrong. So we are saying that the answer should be 10. In this case, what will happen is it will not meet the criteria. So this we are expecting the answer to be 10, but the Celsius is equals to be 0. So in this case, the test case is going to be fail. So what will happen here? Then do a new run, and then in this case, let's select both these and then run. So what will happen is you can see here that there is a red cross. It tells you that something is wrong, and it tells you that, hey, this test freezing point that you are testing for, it came out to be not what you are expecting. So you are expecting something else that is fails. It means that the assertion has failed. So you are expecting the value to be 10, but the actual value came out to be 0. So that's what will happen is if something fails, it will tell you that which test method is failed. It will have a red cross next to it. If it is all green tick, it means it was a successful test. So going back, expected will be 0 and the actual was also 0. So this will work fine. Now let's go ahead and test another input here. So we have checked for warm temperature like 70. We have also checked for freezing temperature. Now check for boiling temperature. So in the case the boiling temperature at the rate, I am going to create another test method here. Static static void, and then name of the method is test the boiling point. Test the boiling point. And then same thing, we are only thing we are going to change is the input parameter. Instead of 32, we will pass something else. So let's go ahead and copy everything as it is. Now here, now I'm not going to pass 32. I'm going to pass 212. So according to the formula, it should be fh minus 32 multiplied by 5 divided by 9. So it is going to be 212 minus 32 multiplied by 5 divided by 9. So if I have my calculator open right now, it should be, let's see what will be the output. 212 minus 32 multiplied by 5 divided by 9. So it should be 100 degrees Celsius. So that's what should be the result. So the expected result, what we are looking for, is going to be 100, right? And then the actual is whatever is coming back. If you wanted to have a customized message, so in case of there is an error, if you want to customize that message, instead of assertion failed, that default message that you get, you can customize this message and you can say boiling point temperature is not expected. So now what will happen is If this test failed, then instead of the default error message that you get, you are going to get this error message. So now what we're going to do is, let's go ahead, and right now the test case will run fine because we are expecting the result to be 100, and I think this Celsius is going to be equals to 100, so everything would be fine. So we go ahead, a test, new run, and then here I am going, okay, first let's save this, go to test, new run, this one, then I'm going to select all this and then hit the run button. Now what will happen is, if we go here, test 5:35 p.m. and all of them are successful. So this is successful, this is successful, and this is successful. Now here, if let's say instead of 100, I will expecting, let's say 10, it's going to be fail. We are making it fail. Now what is the point of making this? So now what will happen if it is fail? If a test case fail, so instead of displaying the default message, what will happen is it will display you this message. So if I new run this, select all this, run, you will see a cross like this. You will see a red mark here. There is a failure and it tells you what failed, and it tells you that test boiling point, this is the method it failed. Now if you double click here, you will see that it failed, and also when you looked at the error, it tells you that the boiling point temperature is not expected. It actually a kind of customizes the error message, so that is a normal person who is not familiar with the technology, they will understand what is the reason that I'm getting the error rather than getting an assertion failed or system assertion exception. So this is the customized message. Whatever the message that you have written after this, whatever the message you have written after this, that is going to be displayed if there is a failure. So here the result should be 100. So we are tested for mostly all the scenarios except the negative scenarios. So let's go ahead and test for a negative scenario as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going ahead and copy paste one of these methods, and this is the last test scenario that I want to test. The name for the method will call it as test the negative temperature. So we have tested everything else. Let's go ahead and test the negative temperature. And in this, I am going to pass -10 as the value. So what I'm going to expect here, -10. So -10 in Fahrenheit should be equals to how much? According to our thing, it should be FH minus 32. Now you are good at it. Divide 5 divided by 9. So -10 minus 32. It's come out to be how much? -42 multiplied by 5 divided by 9. So let's go ahead and calculate. So it should be 42 multiplied by 5 divided by 9. It should be minus 23.33. So this should be the output. So here I am going to say what I am expecting. It should be minus 23.33, and what it is coming is this one. So according to the formula, if you go ahead and put it here minus 10 to the Google, it should be the answer should be, according to the Google, the answer should be minus 23.33. So this is the expected result, and we are checking if the expected result is equals to the actual result. Go ahead and save this. So we have added 4 test method with the different parameters, 70, 32, 212 and minus 10. So now we are going ahead and go to test, new run, and we are going to select the class I want to run, select all the methods, and then hit the run button. And if you want to just select the negative one, you can just select the checkbox next to it. In our case, we are going to make sure that all our test methods are working the way expected to. So here, if I go ahead and check these test methods, you can see here that this is the last run, and you can see here it looks green. So all the test cases are successful. There is no error, nothing red here. Test boiling point is green, test freezing point is green, negative temperature is green, bomb temperature is green. You can see here the code coverage is 100%. If I click here, everything is in blue, nothing is in red, means we have 100% covered the code, everything we have checked. So this is how you write a test class. You have to make sure it is using this annotation. All the methods should also use this annotation, and then most of the methods will not take, the test methods will not take any input parameters. Then the class name should, the test class name should also be, the test name should also have the test after the name, this one. So it tells you that, hey, this is a test class for the particular class. So you have to do, this is a coding practice. So this is how you write an Apex test class. So if you make any modification, you can just rerun this test suite whenever you want. You can rerun this test and it will see that, hey, your new changes are not affecting or breaking anything that we have already was expecting to work. Okay, so this is how you write a test class. So let's meet in next tutorial. Till then, have a good day. Bye.